I've been trying to find my purpose for like ever, 20 years. But what God's teaching me lately is that purpose isn't something you find, it's something that He develops as you seek Him. And it takes time for God to work your personality, your gifts, your experiences, and all your stuff for His good. So instead of trying to find my purpose like the last 20 years, I've been asking God intently to develop my purpose. And God started last September by giving me a very specific image or a vision, one where people were revolving everything around Jesus. He wasn't compartmentalized, He was centralized. People were literally in Him, living, moving, having their being. They were eating and drinking to the glory of God, working, chilling, Netflixing, parenting, husbanding, wifing. They were defaulting to God's will and not their own. Think about it this way, the moon, for example. It doesn't have to think about revolving around the earth. The earth doesn't have to think about revolving around the sun. It's just what they do. And that's the image that I saw. That's what I want. I want to see people get into orbit in their relationship with God, where this is what they do. And I might help them get started, but at some point the thrusters fall off and their connection to God is no longer contingent on me as a preacher, church people, or even an abundance of blessings in their life. And my wife and I, we sat on this vision until April of this year when God pointed us in a very specific direction to a city with over 4 million people, growing by 100,000 a year, where only 12.6% are evangelical Christian. A valley full of people who desperately need to put Jesus at the center of their lives. And my wife and I believe that our purpose is to bring His vision to that place. So, in the spring of 2023, my family and I will be moving to Phoenix, Arizona to plant Orbit Church. And this isn't a shock to most of you. You have been so encouraging toward our calling that we now have the energy to embrace it. Pastor John, your mentorship has given me the confidence to take this next step toward God. Forest Park is where God gave us a vision, pointed us in a direction, and developed our purpose. And I hope while we've been here, we've been helpful as well, because I can envision a future where Orbit Church and Forest Park Church are partners in God's work, where you pray for the Phoenix area and where we encourage you all by what God's doing over there. And I know there are going to be questions about my transition, Orbit Church, Forest Park Church, but I can tell you this. Forest Park has been an amazing church to serve at, and I see tons of potential for its future. And I'm still here for a minute, till the end of February, and I plan to bother you all indefinitely, so look forward to it. My hope with sharing this with you all so early is not just to give information, but to inspire you to ask God to develop your purpose as well. Because what I know is what Scripture says. He will do immeasurably more than you can ask. That was my word last year, and I've seen it. I'm seeing it. You can too.